Rome's bloodiest emperor, murdered while taking a leak. It sounds like a punchline to a dark joke, a moment of profound indignity for a man who wielded absolute power. But in the grand, often brutal theater of ancient Rome, death was rarely a quiet affair. It was a public spectacle, a political statement, a final, dramatic act. The Romans, who gave us law, literature, engineering marvels, also left behind a legacy of endings so bizarre and shocking that they defy belief. These are not simple tales of battles lost or sickness succumbed to. They are stories etched in poison, steel, and hubris. We journey back in time, not to gleaming marble halls, but to the shadows where power crumbled. We will count down the 7 craziest, most unbelievable deaths, from celebrated generals to the most depraved emperors. Our story begins not in the heart of Rome, but on a dusty road in Mesopotamia, under the harsh glare of the eastern sun. Here, in the spring of the year 217. The Roman Empire was on the march, led by an emperor synonymous with brutality, Caracalla. He was a man forged in paranoia and bloodshed. He secured his throne by murdering his own brother in their mother's arms. His reign was a litany of massacres and confiscations. A shadow stretched across his vast territories. He saw conspiracies in every corner and trusted no one, ruling by fear alone. Seeing himself as a new Alexander, he drove a campaign against Parthia, leading with an iron fist into enemy lands. Among his guards was Julius Martialis, a soldier with a grievance. Caracalla had executed his brother on a baseless charge and denied Martialis a promotion to centurion, a hidden danger nearer than any Parthian spear. The moment arrived on the 8th of April. The imperial column halted. Feeling the call of nature, he stepped away with only a few guards. A mundane human act. The godlike emperor, just a man. For Martialis, this was the signal. He closed in, unremarked. No one saw the glint of steel until it was too late. In one motion, he struck. A dagger drove into the emperor's back. Caracalla cried out and fell, life draining on Mesopotamian dust. Martialis fled, but a javelin found its mark. He was cut down within moments. From a brutal death on the road, we travel back to the opulent heart of the empire, the court of Emperor Claudius. Often underestimated as a limping, stammering fool, he proved shrewd, an able administrator, builder of aqueducts, and conqueror of Britain. A gourmand at heart, Claudius adored mushrooms, especially Caesar's mushroom. His wife, Agrippina the Younger, formidable and ambitious, sister to Caligula and descendant of Augustus, schemed for her son Nero. She married her uncle and had Claudius adopt Nero, edging out Britannicus, then feared the emperor might change his mind. The plan? Poison his favorite dish. Historians point to death cap, or a concoction by the notorious Locusta. On October 13th, 54, the mushroom course arrived. Claudius ate eagerly. The slow-acting toxin mimicked a stomach ailment. When he rallied a little, panic set in among the plotters. Tacitus tells us a second dose came on a feather, under the guise of helping him vomit. Through a night of agony, the old man's body failed him. Agrippina kept his death secret for hours, securing the guards' loyalty. By midday, the 17-year-old Nero was emperor, and Claudius was history. Thus, the emperor who built and conquered was felled by a plate of mushrooms. A quiet, domestic tragedy served by the woman who shared his bed. The emperor who loved mushrooms died from them. Some men live by a code. For Seneca, it was stoicism, reason, virtue, and a calm acceptance of fate. Playwright, statesman, and Nero's tutor, he tried to mold a just ruler, but power corrupted the pupil. Entangled in the Pisonian conspiracy, though unproven, Seneca became Nero's perfect scapegoat. There would be no trial, no defense, only a command: take your own life. Seneca did not rage or beg. He met fate with the calm he taught. Surrounded by his wife Paulina and friends, his home became a final classroom. He consoled them, asking, where was their philosophy now? He ordered his veins opened, methodically, But age made the blood slow. He had cuts made in his legs as well. Still, death lingered. Even in agony, he dictated a final discourse, words flowing as life ebbed. He drank poison, but his chilled body made it ineffective. Paulina sought to die with him. Nero's men intervened, saving her against her will. Placed in a hot bath, he sprinkled water as a libation to Jupiter, the liberator. His breathing labored in the vapor. He finally succumbed, not as a victim, but as a teacher, proving the calm he preached. The philosopher of calm died proving it. Rome knew glorious victories and devastating defeats. Few were as humiliating as Edessa, 260 AD. Valerian, senator, commander, crowned amid the crisis of the 3rd century. Against him stood Shapur, brilliant king of a resurgent Persia. Plague struck, numbers waned, spirits sank. Encircled, cut off, starving, the Romans were trapped. Desperate, Valerian broke protocol to negotiate. Shapur never intended peace. He seized the Roman emperor, a first in Roman history. Paraded in chains, mocked in imperial purple, Valerian became a prop for Persian triumph. The most infamous insult, used as Shapur's human footstool to mount a horse. Roman tales grew lurid, even of molten gold forced upon him. Years of living death. Rome could not save him. His son Gallienus reigned on. After death, by age, disease, or execution, his skin was flayed, tanned, dyed vermilion, and stuffed with straw. Hung in a Persian temple, the effigy warned Romans for generations. The Roman emperor turned into a leather trophy. Gaius Julius Caesar, conqueror of Gaul, populist politician, master of Rome, declared dictator perpetuo, he sat robed in purple, his image stamped on coins. Senators styled themselves liberatores. Assassination felt like duty. Led by Cassius and Brutus, close to Caesar, they chose the theater of Pompey. Omens abounded. Calpurnia dreamt his death. A soothsayer warned, "Beware the Ides." Feeling unwell, he wished to stay. But Decimus mocked the signs and led him on. On the way, Caesar jested, "The Ides of March have come." "Aye," came the reply, "but not yet gone." In the Senate, Tullius Cimber approached with a petition, then seized Caesar's toga. The first blow fell. Casca stabbed. Caesar cried, "Vile Casca," and struck back with his stylus. But he was outnumbered. Chaos erupted, blades everywhere. Through blood and press, Brutus came. Suetonius records Caesar's last words in Greek. "Kai su, teknon." "You too, my child?" He fell at Pompey's feet, spattered with blood. 23 wounds pierced him. The man who conquered the world, undone by 23 knives in his own senate. Few rulers burned as brightly or as bizarrely as Elagabalus, a Syrian priest of the sun god, arriving in Rome as a living deity. He brought a meteorite he deemed divine and demanded Rome's gods bow before it. Governance became spectacle. Silk, jewels, and makeup replaced martial austerity. Banquets of outrageous excess. Guests smothered in roses, dishes of ostrich brains. The Senate, the people, and the military recoiled. He married a Vestal, sacrilege, and promoted favorites and dancers on whim. The guard's loyalty drifted to his cousin, Alexander Severus. Conspiracy thickened. The sun of the boy god was setting. The Praetorians struck. Panic seized the palace. The self-styled sun god became a terrified boy, found cowering in a latrine. He and his mother were seized. Fury boiled over. Some accounts whisper he hid in a chest, drowned in perfumes. Whether fragrant coffin or a dozen swords, the end was the same. His body was paraded, then cast into the Tiber, weighed to deny burial. A ritual purge of his scandalous reign. The emperor who died smelling fabulous and terrified, vanished into the river, judged by history and swallowed by Rome. Not all Roman deaths came by blade. Some were born of a passion for knowledge, like Pliny the Elder. Admiral, encyclopedist, insatiable observer of everything under the sun. Stationed at Misenum, he witnessed nature's terror in 79 AD. A strange cloud rose. Like an umbrella pine, his nephew wrote. Science called him closer. Then a plea for rescue turned inquiry into mission. He launched quadriremes, sailing toward danger and those in need. The sky blackened. Ash and pumice rained. The pilot begged to turn back. Fortune favors the brave, Pliny declared. Press on. He reached shore, calmed a terrified household, bathed, dined, reassured. Ever the scientist, he observed and documented amid quakes. When ash rose too high, they fled, pillows bound as helmets. Outside was perpetual night, lit by volcano fire and ash lightning. The fumes thickened. He lay on a sail, asked for water, tried to rise, and collapsed. Found at daylight, untouched by injury, he seemed asleep, his nephew wrote. The scholar succumbed to the very wonder he sought to study, the scientist who literally died doing research. From the fragrant fall of a boy god to the scholarly sacrifice of an admiral, these are but a handful of stories etched into Rome's annals. Behind marble busts were men of flesh and blood, whose ends matched their lives in drama and strangeness. An emperor killed while relieving himself, a ruler felled by mushrooms, a philosopher lecturing through his own suicide, a Caesar turned to a footstool, another undone by 23 knives, chapters in a saga of power, ambition, and life's brutal fragility. Which death shocked you most? Tell us below. Like the video. Subscribe for more strange history.